Imagine that walking around your home, every device around you, the camera, the smart speaker, the router, even the TV, all connected to the internet. But the real question is, are they actually safe? In this video, we are going to uncover the dark side of smart devices. You will see how anyone from anywhere in the world could access your home camera or control your device without you even noticing. We will start from zero and walk through how to scan the device in your home and find vulnerabilities before someone else exploits them. This field is called IoT, the Internet of Things, and it's an entire specialty on its own. It includes every smart device connected to the internet. Without any more introduction, let's jump straight into the explanation. And as always, never scan or connect to any device you don't own or don't have explicit permission to test. Any demonstration shown here must only be done on your own device or one you are authorized to access, because the goal here is educational to understand the risks of default configurations, weak passwords, and public exposures. We are first going to see how to access your home router and scan it. Then we will try another method, easier than the first one and also widely known. After that, we will look at some websites that make it easier for you to find internet-connected devices. And we will see how to use Google search to do the same thing in an even simpler way. Finally, we will go through one more example to make sure everything is clear. So stay until the end to get the full benefit. Now we are going to say the word firmware a lot. So what exactly is firmware? Firmware is the small program that runs the device. Think of the video on the screen, something like that. It's the software that lets you configure the device, send commands to it, and it receives and executes those commands. You can think of it as a simplified operating system that controls the hardware, like the camera, the router, the smart headphone, and so on. Basically, it's the brain of the device that tells it what to do and how to respond. But why is this important? Because the firmware determines the device's function, its performance, and even its security. A vulnerability in the firmware is basically an open door for hackers. And even a small update can fix issue, introduce new one, or add new features. So how do you find your firmware version? Usually, you go into the settings or the device's configuration page, like the router page or the manufacturer's mobile app, and you will find a section called About It. There you will see the firmware version. It comes in many formats, but the most common ones you will see, or the ones we will use, are .bin, .im, or .uf2. There are other extensions you might encounter later, or you might find them yourself while searching for firmware outside the examples we will cover. Let's start with the router in your home. Right now, anyone can access this page, but only on their own home router. So how do you access your router? On Windows or Linux, just type this command, then scroll down to the part called Default Gateway and look for the IP address. It's usually 0.1 or 1.1. When you enter that address into your browser, it will take you to this page. From this page, there is a very important piece of information we are going to use later. You can usually see the router version here, and we will use this version later to download the firmware, or let's say the operating system that runs the router or any other device, and analyze it on another website I will show you. If you don't find the version here, you can check the physical router itself. How do you access its info? You will find it printed on the back of almost every router, the username and password. After you log in, the language might be different, doesn't matter. Here you can usually see the router name or the version again. Your page might look different from mine, but the menus are almost always similar, so you can start collecting system information. I can't show more than this, but as you can see up here, the version is visible, which means you can now identify your router model and version at home, and from here you can start scanning it. If you still can't find the firmware version, then you can take the firmware version and go to Google and type download firmware name and then company name, and you will find lots of resources. So download the firmware from there, because we will use it in a minute. After that, go to this website, go to this section, click here, upload the firmware, and the site will analyze it for you and give you all the result without you doing any manual work. And if this method doesn't work for you or feels complicated, don't worry. We are making part 2 of this episode, and we will cover another method to scan your router. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it.